Powered by the Montana Television Network. This is the 5:30 News on Q2, Montana's news leader.
Good evening and thanks for joining us. I'm Russ.
And I'm Jeanelle Slade. Well, it might be May, but winter weather plaguing our forecast and possibly pushing off summer travel over the Beartooth Pass.
This as rain, snow, and chilly temperatures have taken over the forecast. This view from Red Lodge Mountain yesterday looking more like winter than near June-like weather.
We're joined now by Chief Forecaster Bob McGuire. Bob, what is in store?
The snow is still falling in parts of the Beartooth. Let me show you what's happening out there right now. On the Doppler radar, you can see Red Lodge down there at the bottom of your screen. We put a little skier up there just to give you some idea where the ski area is. And as you'll notice, we still got snow falling in that area, scattered rain showers all around that. We'll pull back a little bit farther and show you that we still now have a winter storm warning for the Beartooth, the Crazy, and the Bighorn Mountains. Looking for over a foot of snow in those areas over the next couple of days. That stays with us until Thursday morning. Now, we also have a flood watch for those areas highlighted in green. It does include much of south central and eastern Montana for small streams and rivers. It does not include the Yellowstone River, but the Little Bighorn is possibly could be a flood stage very shortly. And as you'll notice, we are looking at some scattered rain showers pushing in from the southeast, heading towards the Billings area. So we're going to be in and out of these showers off and on for the next several days. And we'll have more on that coming your way in a few more minutes.
All right. Thanks, Bob.
Well, over in Red Lodge, more snow is in the forecast for the mountains there. So what does that mean for crews clearing the Beartooth Pass?
Now, Q2's Mitch Laggy is standing by live in Red Lodge tonight with the very latest. Mitch, I hear you are already seeing snowfall on Main Street.
That's right, guys. The date, May 21st, 2019, and as you can see, it's snowing buckets up here in Red Lodge. I actually talked to some local folks earlier as soon as we rolled into town that told me there were actually some skiers hiking up the mountain to get some turns in today. But what everybody wants to know, will the Beartooth Pass be open this weekend for Memorial Day? I called the Billings the Billings MDT office today, and they told me that crews made it all the way up to Vista Point. Now, even if they aren't able to have the road completely plowed, they said they will open it at least partially. As far as we know, it's not going to be open, as far as we know, it will be open, but kind of just partially. But that's all we know from here right now. I'll go ahead and send it back to you guys over in Billings.
All right, Q2's Mitch Laggy reporting live from Red Lodge tonight. Thanks, Mitch.
Thanks. Well, after months in a Utah hospital, Montana Highway Patrol Trooper Wade Palmer will finally return home.
Trooper Palmer's doctors say he's ready to transition to the next phase of care. Palmer will be flown to Missoula tomorrow, and a motorcade will take him home where he'll begin outpatient therapy.
Now, Palmer has been hospitalized since March 15th when he was shot in the neck, face, and head after locating the suspect involved in a road rage shooting that injured 2 and killed 1 in Missoula.
Now, a procession will begin around 2 p.m. It'll take Trooper Palmer from Missoula's North Star hangar and through town on his way back home. The public is invited to view that procession along Broadway Street between Reserve Street and McCormick Street. They will then take the trooper to Stevensville.
Now, the public is also invited to watch along the Stevensville Cutoff Road. Palmer's family members say they are happy to return to Missoula, but also ask for privacy as they work to adjust at home. Well, another big change in the top leadership position at Billings Clinic, but this time not a big ceremony or fanfare. The Billings Clinic Board of Directors announced this afternoon that CEO Dr. Randall Gibbs' contract has been terminated effective immediately. Now, the hospital not releasing any details surrounding the firing of Dr. Gibb. In fact, stating in a press release, due to the confidentiality, details will not be provided. The board of directors has named Drs. John Schallenkamp and Robert Merchant to serve as co-CEOs as the hospital makes another major transition.
Yeah, so we're going to be leading the organization, but we are very fortunate to have a very experienced senior team and an incredibly talented staff throughout our organization. So we're very lucky because we're going to be simply continuing our plans and our progress that we've been making. Our same initiatives are going to be ongoing. So in a sense, it's business as usual in the sense that we've got incredible teams working on great work, taking great care of patients, and that's going to continue without any hesitations.
The hospital will begin a nationwide search for a new CEO immediately. That position must be filled by a practicing physician. Dr. Gibb joins Billings Clinic in 2006 as a gynecologic oncologist and was named CEO in July 2017.
People on both sides of the abortion issue took to the Yellowstone County Courthouse lawn this afternoon.
Planned Parenthood advocates of Montana were there protesting recent abortion bans that have passed, but many pro-life activists were also out.
Q2's Zoe Zandora was there and joins us now with more. Zoe?
Yeah, this was part of a nationwide effort called Stop the Ban, as Planned Parenthood advocates of Montana joined other major progressive organizations across the nation. Several people on the other side of this controversial issue were also on hand. Now, those in attendance were either protesting or supporting abortion bans that have been passed by 7 different state legislatures, the most recent being Alabama. This law, the most restrictive, bans all abortion in the state unless the pregnancy poses a significant risk to the woman's health. Now, this criminalizing the procedure, making it punishable by up to 99 years in prison for doctors who perform the procedure. The CEO of Planned Parenthood Montana, Martha Stahl, says it's important to let those politicians know that this is not what the American people want or stand for.
So I think it's important to know that this is not something that happens just in other states. It's not something that just happens in the South. It's happening across the country. And we need to make sure that we are very loud and proud about our support for women and all people's right to make their reproductive health decisions.
Now, Montana had 3 abortion-based bills passed through the legislature to the governor's desk. Governor Bullock vetoed all 3 earlier this month. Russ?
All right, thank you, Zoe. Yellowstone National Park is adopting a new set of priorities for managing the oldest and most iconic of the nation's parks. MTN's John Shearer explains that the new plan encompasses just about every part of Yellowstone.
Cam Shawley became the new superintendent here in Yellowstone National Park back in October. Now, it's not unusual at all for a new leader to set goals and aspirations for his team. But this list that he calls strategic priorities is meant to be a guidepost for all decisions, both short-term and long-term.
How we communicate, how we share resources across divisions is extremely important to our success.
The new park priorities start with better housing for park employees. Next, strengthen the ecosystem and protect the history. Make the visitor experience world-class. Invest in infrastructure and build coalitions. But Shawley says there's a good reason why park employees come first.
We can talk all day long about protecting the resources in this park, managing visitor use, partnering with communities, but if the core team in this park isn't well taken care of, we cannot accomplish as efficiently as we should many of those other priorities that we want to execute on.
Shawley says that means replacing more than 40-year-old manufactured homes used for employee housing. The one you see here was used through last year. He says seasonal and concession employee housing needs an upgrade, and he has an idea for doing all that.
Where we might be able to do some joint housing development outside of the boundaries, perhaps with cooperative agreements where maybe developers come in.
Now, Shawley says the success of Yellowstone is built on strong partnerships. One of the best known partnerships is with Yellowstone Forever. This is its headquarters in Gardner, just across the street from Yellowstone National Park. Shawley says that he would like to build on this partnership and others like it. The money that Yellowstone Forever raises is often used for infrastructure projects within the park. In Gardner, I'm John Shearer for MTN News.
Well, Shawley estimates the infrastructure needs in the park are well above $600 million. His predecessor, Dan Week, put that figure at $1 billion.
Coming up on tonight's 5:30 News, could the federal age for tobacco use go up by 3 years to 21? Check out the new bill introduced in Congress.
And later in sports, Scott has a fun look at how this doubles tandem at senior just finished a perfect tennis season.
You're watching MTN News with Jeanelle Slade and Russ Riesinger. Storm Tracker weather with Bob McGuire. And sports with Scott Green. This is the 5:30 News on Q2, Montana's news leader.